join the ends of your binding.
Yes.
So we're not going to go through all of binding. I just want to talk briefly about joining the ends. So let's go ahead and take a look at my example here. I've started my binding. One of the things that's important when you're doing this method is to always leave a flap tailing or a flap flapping in the wind, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch around a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. Now you get to the end and you're going, how do I combine this? I'm freaking out. No need to do that, because see all this extra stuff? I don't need to worry about that. I'm just gonna cut off some of it so that I have now 2 very manageable pieces. So the idea is we want to miter this together. So here's my little trick for doing that. What I do is I lay this side flat, I bring this one over, and do you see where those 2 overlap? All right, where those 2 overlap is where you're going to measure from. Now, here's the math part of this. Whatever, and it's not hard, whatever you measured your binding to be is the magic number that you have to remember for this. So, for example, my binding is at 2.5 inches. So 2.5 inches is my magic number. When I place this over top, I'm going to go ahead and take my ruler. Oh my goodness, this just happens to be a 2.5 inch ruler. Wow. What do you know? And I'm going to place that ruler right over top, again, just over where these 2 pieces meet, all right? At that point, I'm just going to lift it off and cut. If I wanted to, I could make a marking here if I wanted to, but right there is all it took. So again, this was placed over. I looked at where they overlapped. I measured 2.5 inches.
This is where I forget.
And
this is great.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all there is to it, guys. So now at this point, what I'm going to do is take my fingers, dip them into the pockets, and then I have these 2 pieces kiss. I bring this one up to the left, and I bring this one over to mwah, right? So once again, fingers in pockets, bring this one up to the left, bring this one over to smack it on the lips, and now I'm going to take a pin, and sorry about that,
That's
Suzanne.
All right.
Let me grab
There's
a pin.
right there.
A pin.
Oh, a pin.
And I'm going to just go ahead and pin it just like that, okay? Now, if you wanted to, for added measure, you could add a few pins in there. Usually I can get away with just 1. Then go ahead, you can draw a line going from corner to corner if you wanted to, or you could use the guideline on your machine if you have one of those. Any which way that you feel most comfortable with is fine. I'll go ahead and draw a line since some of us may not have that guide beam. I want to make sure everyone knows how this is done. We're going from outside corner to outside corner, all right? And this is why sometimes if you have a few pins, it can be very helpful, because this little guy's a little squirrely, right? All right, and then we just go ahead and mark our line. And Jackie, I'm going to ask you to sew directly on that line. Always check that this is correct before you cut it.
Yes, that is a good, a good tip.
I don't know, maybe I know that from experience, but yeah, that looks really good, so I feel okay to go ahead and trim this. And now I can press this open, the seam open, and then I just lay it like this, and look how nicely it just falls right back into that seam. And now I can go ahead to my sewing machine and finish sewing this.